everyone, how are we today? Just doing an all signs reading today. We are going to be celebrating tomorrow, which is actually St. Patrick's Day. So all things green today for our all signs reading. We are going to be having a look at the green flags for each sign. So this is, positive attributes for each sign. So whether you are looking at your own sign or whether you are, looking into somebody else's sign, cross-watching other signs, those sorts of things, more than welcome to check multiple placements, all that sort of stuff. We're going to have a look at that sign's green flags and see what's coming out for you. Something interesting I've learned about St. Patrick's Day. I know there's a lot of people have, varied things that they like to do for St. Patrick's Day, celebrating, all things green, shamrock, all those sorts of things. Anything, typically Irish does get celebrated. Something I've actually learned recently is that for St. Patrick's Day, you can celebrate St. Patrick's Day by planting peas. Okay, cabbages are also quite common, and I thought it was quite interesting that apparently if you plant those seeds for the cabbages or the peas while you're wearing your pajamas, it helps them to grow and bring more luck in with the planting of those things. So very interesting. I'm hoping I would, I'm going to go check out some fields and see if we can see some farmers in their pajamas planting peas and cabbages tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day. But it's definitely a good time to plant. I think that's one of the things I'm enjoying about it, because here in Australia, St. Patrick's Day has been very commercialized as a big drinking thing. Everybody just goes out drinking and, wears green, and that's about it. Obviously, we do have a heavy Irish culture background here in Australia as well. So I've kind of, as I get older and older, I do turn away a little bit from those, just any excuse for drinking sorts of parties. So it's always interesting to learn some of the other things associated with, special holidays like St. Patrick's Day. So, me personally, I do love a bit of gardening. I do have a bit of a green thumb, and I do enjoy planting things. So I'm definitely going to be looking into planting some green vegetables tomorrow. I think I've actually got seeds for green capsicums, so I'll do those in my pajamas, and hopefully I have just as much luck as with peas. Okay, but a bit of a tangent there for everybody. I hope you all learnt something too. But we will be using this week. I've got the green Tanis lenormand. We are also using, I've got the Power of Love activation cards. Okay, but please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Every little help does go a big way, being such a small channel. I do really appreciate all your support. If you want to leave a comment on one of my videos, you will go in the draw for a free personal reading as well. But getting started for us today, we're actually going to start with Libra today. Okay. Anyone that does watch my channel, you probably do know that with my personal placements, sometimes I do need to shift the energy a little bit around my readings and start with Libra rather than Aries. I just find it easier sometimes with my energy. Okay, so as always, taking timestamps and starting, like I said, with Libra. Okay, Libra. What are Libra's green flags? What are Libra's green flags? Okay, we're getting detachment. You are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. So Libra has a green flag. They're able to detach from things that don't serve them anymore. They're able to release old patterns and old ways of thinking in order to move forward into a higher version of themselves. So that's always a definite green flag when they are easily able to detach from the past and from things that may have, been negative patterns in their life. We also have respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. So Libra is very respectful and has a lot of respect for themselves as well, I feel here. Okay, what are Libra's green flags? What are Libra's green flags? Firstly, we have the moon, okay? So that's all about emotional sensitivity and intuition. So Libra obviously has a very good, strong intuition and they follow it, okay? They're in cahoots with their emotional side. They actually are very sensitive to their emotions and they take those on board. They're not one to sort of shy away from the emotional side of things. Okay, we have the ship. So Libra, we see that as a green flag in the sense that they're always ready to go on an adventure. They're ready to sort of, undertake any journey. They're ready to sort of, it's coming through with a lot of determination that they're ready to, jump on that ship and set sail and do what is necessary in order to, close any gap, cover any distance that they need to within themselves. It is coming through connecting to that detachment. So, they're ready to, throw anything overboard that's holding the ship down, and they're ready to, put that anchor down when they know they need to stay steady. They're in charge of their emotions here. They can put that anchor down and keep themselves steady, and so they don't float away during any storms in their life. But they're also very much ready to go on any brand new adventures and ready to cover those distances. Very determined. I'm getting determination to make life an adventure, to undertake new journeys and new adventures in their life, and sort of see where things take them. Very lovely energy here. We also have the Garden card coming through. So very sociable energy there. They're very social butterfly type creatures. They're very, they're able to hold their own in social situations. They're able to make new friends quite easily. Whether they feel like they can or not, people gravitate towards them. They are able to hold their own in social situations. They also, they're willing to meet people halfway. Once again, with that ship and the garden, they're willing to meet people halfway. They're willing to respect other people's opinions and take those on board and really meet people halfway and not be judgmental. I'm kind of getting there as well. So that's what we have for Libra. Like I said, check as many placements as you would like. Cross-check placements as well. We'll move on to Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio, what are Scorpio's green flags? What are Scorpio's green flags? Empathy. They feel and understand the emotions of others in the service of love. Okay, so they're very empathetic and understand people's feelings. They're not going to disregard feelings here, these Scorpios. And we do have harmony as well. They're able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. So they are really able to, balance everything out in their life in a very harmonious kind of way. They do seem to be seekers of harmony and peace, and rather than trying to instigate issues. These Scorpios do feel very much as though, harmony is more important to them, that they're able to find that balance and find that harmony, even in the midst of a bit of craziness and even if they have instigated some drama, that they know it's kind of this element that they've instigated drama or issues in order to know, because they know instinctively that sometimes we need to face the drama head on to get through that, and in order to have a more lasting harmony down the track. So ultimately harmony is strong here with the Scorpio energy, but we'll have a look with the lenormand as well. Scorpio's green flags. What are Scorpio's green flags? So after I've talked about that conflict, here it comes again with the whip and the broom energy there. But so you know, Scorpio, they're willing to face conflict. They're willing to get through conflict for the ultimate harmony of things. They're willing to stand up for themselves and fight their way through it if they need to. You know, they never know Scorpio to back down from a good fight. So definitely seeing that energy here. But Scorpio, you know, they do, it seems to be more along the lines of this clear understanding that sometimes we need to fight it out, and sometimes we do need to have that conflict so that there can be the greater harmony at the end of the day. And that seems to be coming through here as well. They're in control of conflict and drama and tension in their life. So, you know, all for that ultimate goal of harmony, though. It's very interesting, though, but they're probably somebody that you do want on your side in a conflict. They are somebody that, you know, they're going to stand strong against conflict. They're going to fight for what they believe in, kind of energy. We also have the flowers coming through here. So, you know, they're ready to give their all. They do understand equal give and take. And this Scorpio here, that's what this is all about, equal give and take. They're also somebody who, you know, they probably do like to receive gifts as well, but they're probably somebody who is a gift giver. I do get that sometimes with the flowers energy, that they probably do like to give gifts as a way of showing that they do care about people here as well. We do have the book energy coming through as well. So very knowledgeable, Scorpio. They're someone that you can turn to and ask anything, and if they don't know the answer, they'll research it for you and be able to tell you, you know, a day from now. They're somebody who doesn't shy away from learning. They're willing to learn. They're willing to open up to, you know, whatever comes next and do whatever research and find the education that they need, which is always a really good thing. Me personally, I believe that, you know, the pursuit of knowledge is very, very important, you know, whether that just be in regard to you personally, your own life, your own skills, or whether that be on a greater, you know, more structured education type thing. The pursuit of knowledge, I find that to be very, very important. So, you know, Scorpio does seem to find that important as well. Okay, but you're more than welcome to check multiple placements, of course. You know, leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we'll move on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. What are Sagittarius's green flags? What are Sagittarius's green flags? Responsibility. I'm also seeing freedom here, and straight away intuitively getting told that this is all about balancing the two, balancing their freedom with responsibility, and they seem to be very adept at balancing out responsibility while still maintaining a sense of freedom. It does say responsibility. They are aware of the power of their thoughts and the amount of love they express. So they're very, you know, in control. They're responsible. They take action when necessary. Freedom. They are releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. So, you know, they are responsible for their own actions, and they're very open and honest about who they are. They're very free, but with the way that they show who they are as well. But, you know, they do seem to balance their own personal responsibilities in this world with that sense of freedom as well. So they're seeming to really balance that out as well. So Sagittarius feels as though there's somebody that, you know, they may have some really huge responsibilities at work and be having to take on some extra stuff at work, but then when work's over for the week, they're more than happy to go out and express themselves, and, you know, they can move very quickly from one to the other. It does seem they're not someone that you know, restricts themselves to those restrictions, and that's all that they can think about. They seem to be able to enact into the freedom mode, back into the responsibility mode quite quickly. They seem to balance that out really well. Okay, Sagittarius's green flags. What are Sagittarius's green flags, please? We have the birds coming through. So with the birds, that's all about conversations. So this Sagittarius is probably a very clear communicator. Okay, they do show that responsibility in the way that they communicate, that they are aware of what they give out as well as what they receive. They are very aware of the power of their thoughts, and I'm getting that coming up again here too. The way that they communicate, they do try to communicate and be open and honest as much as they possibly can, and try to communicate clearly what's sort of going on for them. So they do seem to be very aware of, you know, communication being very important here. We do have the cross coming out here as well. So Sagittarius probably does place a lot of importance on their own spirituality or religion. You know, they probably do have this strong underlying sense of destiny to them in general, that they seem to have this very strong connection to the universe, to, you know, spiritual energy. You know, it's very interesting because Sagittarius too, like the ones that I have known personally, quite a lot of them are very, very connected to things like gardening and things like that pursuit of learning as well. You know, learning more about how to garden, how to nurture, how to look after things. And that's coming through with the spirituality. So I'm just seeing this example because every single Sagittarius I know is either very, very connected to the pursuit of knowledge, or very, very connected to, you know, the pursuit of nurturing the earth. You know, so I'm just feeling that that's how they connect on a spiritual level for a lot of the Sagittarians I'm picking up on here. They're going to be connecting, you know, in a very spiritual way by things like either gardening or learning. You know, the Sagittarius is the examples I'm getting here of the pursuit of knowledge with these Sagittarians. My father will read anything. He sits down. Like, I remember when we were children, you know, my dad in the school holidays would give us as homework, we would have to sit down and read the dictionary. And he thought that was fun. We would sit down and read encyclopedias together and, you know, all different stuff, learn about all different things. It's all about the more that you know kind of energy. And I do have a lot of Sagittarian friends who are very adept at, you know, that they've got that green thumb and they can, you know, keep any plant alive and thriving. And, you know, they love to be surrounded by nature and plants as well. So that's kind of how I'm getting that their spiritual connection to the world is coming through, whether it be, you know, because my dad is a total, he's atheist. So he doesn't believe in any of this sort of stuff. He doesn't believe in, you know, him having any sort of spiritual connection to anything. But that he doesn't sort of realize that I can sort of see in him that that's his religion, is learning is his religion, education is his religion, you know, and science is kind of, I've said it a few times that to my dad, I think, you know, when we're talking about religion and things, that his religion is science. So, you know, education and science and all that, it's definitely coming through as a religious thing. For Sagittarius here as well, that it's just that deep passion for it, that deep drive to learn and nurture. We're also getting the clouds coming through here as well. So they're probably very deep thinkers as well, these Sagittarians. Very, very deep thinking with the clouds energy. That does talk about the way that we think about things. I just want to read that responsibility card once again because it does mention that. They are aware of the power of their thoughts. Okay, so that's exactly what's coming through here with that clouds energy, that they are very aware of the power of their thoughts, and they are very aware of the fact that, you know, the clouds are what you make it. The clouds can be light and fluffy and white, or they can be storm clouds. It's all down to the way that you are allowing yourself to think. And Sagittarius is very much aware of that and able to, be very conscious of what they're thinking and how they're thinking. Okay, so very interesting for the. I wasn't expecting that one to go quite so deep there, but they do have some lovely green flags coming through there. Okay, you're more than welcome to check other placements as well. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. But for now, we will move on over to Capricorn. Capricorn, what are Capricorn's green flags? What are Capricorn's green flags? Sounds like Capricorn, we have ownership. Okay, they acknowledge their misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. Okay, so Capricorn takes ownership. They take personal responsibility for all the good things they do as well as the bad. They're not one to shy away from the truth. They are going to take ownership of, yes, I did do that. Yes, I was a bitch. I was but I did this and this, which was lovely. So Capricorn's not going to shy away from the truth. They're probably not going to be very subtle about the way that they do it either. They're probably just going to be, yeah, I was a bitch, but what are you going to do? Like, I was nice and gave you this, I made up for it the next day. I'm just kind of getting that kind of energy coming through here. We do also have willingness. Okay, they are able to compromise if the end result is love. So yeah, Capricorns do seem, a lot of people will say Capricorns are so controlling and they're a dominant sign and all this sort of thing. Their determination, their perseverance, gets in the way. But, because the Capricorn they're the boss energy, right? But they are willing to compromise. They definitely are. If they do have a willingness to compromise, if the end result is something that you both want, if that end result is the best possible result, they are more than happy to compromise. They're more than happy to do things your way if your way is actually better. The main problem with that is that, I'm not going to lie, majority of the time, Capricorn's right. It's hard for other people to see that, but there's a reason that Capricorns are so determined to have their way, and that usually is because Capricorns, they're not that, they don't show that boss energy. They don't show that determination if they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, but they do have a willingness to compromise. They do have a willingness to take on board other people's, thoughts, situations, all that sort of stuff. They definitely do. It's one of those unseen sort of qualities of a Capricorn that they are actually very, very willing to compromise. It's all about the end results. If the end result is going to be the result that we want and we desire, Capricorn will definitely take your opinions on board if your opinions are going to help achieve that. It's all about that end result for Capricorn, okay? And I'm a Capricorn myself, so I'm a bit biased, not going to lie. Capricorns are awesome. Anyway. Okay, Capricorn's green flags. Which is all of them. No, not really. I'm not going to lie. Capricorns definitely do have red flags as well. As do we all. But they take ownership of those red flags. They're more than willing to stand up and take responsibility for their red flags, just as much as their green flags. Okay, Capricorn's green flags, please, for Capricorn. Now, that's something I hear a lot about Capricorn. The coffin energy. They're more than willing to cut things off, to end things, if it means a brand new beginning for them. death and rebirth energy here with the coffin. And this is actually coming through as a green flag. So, you know, they're more than willing to close the lid on things that are no longer working for them, things that are no longer serving their highest purpose, things that are no longer reaching us towards that end goal, that perfect result that we're wanting here. Capricorn's more than willing to close that off and shut the door on that and cut that person off. I'm not going to lie, that is true. I've cut a few people off in my time, but it's all about, do you know what? We're going to close the lid on that and move forward. We're going to move forward. We're going to, you know, have a total rebirth, and we're going to rebrand and restart all over again. Definitely Capricorn energy here. I'm definitely seeing some strong Capricorn energy. We do have the masculine coming through as well. So there's that boss bitch energy, that determination, perseverance. It is coming through once again in the next card as well. This is Capricorn, you know, being very in control of the emotions that they do have. I kind of want to say here, intuitively, I'm getting here that if you have seen an emotional Capricorn, you are closer to them than you think you are. They've let you in deeper than you think they have. If you have seen an emotional Capricorn, and you've experienced Capricorn being emotional, you have experienced more than 99% of people would have had the experience with that Capricorn. Capricorns can be a little bit standoffish. They can, you know, hold people at a distance, but seem very reserved and quiet. They're sort of taking it all in, and they usually are very in control of their emotional self. They're in control of the chaos that's going on inside them. The common misconception about Capricorn that they're not chaos. That they're very calm and controlled. That's because they're calm and controlled. They don't let people see the chaos. Capricorns actually quite a lot of the time have a lot more emotional chaos than anyone would ever sort of realize. They have a lot going on in that, you know, hiding under their hat. They've got a lot. But that, once again, it's that masculine energy. They can be controlling, they can be domineering type energy, but this is a positive. Okay, we're looking at this as a green flag. So, you know, if you need someone to take control of a situation, Capricorn is your person to do that. We also have the Mountain, which is actually the Capricorn card. Okay, so this really does embody Capricorn, because this is all about that perseverance, that determination. That, do you know what, you put an obstacle in front of me, that ain't nothing. I'm going to climb over that mountain and I'm going to get to the other side. I have this ambition and this power within me that I will climb over any mountain that you put in my path. I can climb them all. Okay, it may just be a small speed bump in my road. It may be a small delay for me. I can overcome anything. Capricorn, very, very strong-willed. So that's coming, once again, all these things coming through as green flags for Capricorn. So if you need someone to rely on that Capricorn. They're very, very strong. Okay, leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. Check other placements if you want, but we'll move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, what are Aquarius's green flags? What are the aqua green flags? Past. We're seeing that. I'm also seeing ownership, which we're kind of seeing the influence of Aquarius here being so close to Capricorn. That did just come out for Capricorn. So you know, if this person is on the cusp, you may want to check the Capricorn reading as well. But we'll get to that in a second here. The first card we have is the Past. Through the power of love, they release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform their heart space. So we see here an Aquarius who is more than able to move forward and you know, let go of the past and not allow the past to hold them stagnant and stuck in situations. Okay, like I said, we have that ownership card as well. They acknowledge their misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. Okay, so they're very aware of, the things that they have done wrong. They take personal responsibility. This is all about personal responsibility, taking ownership for your good green flags as well as the red flags, taking personal responsibility and awareness of those and learning from those. Okay, they're trying to use them as lessons. So sort of like standing up saying, yes, I do have this red flag, but do you know what? I'm going to try to improve and turn that red flag into, an orange flag, and eventually then into, a neutral flag or a green flag. Okay, what are Aquarius's green flags? Green flags for Aquarius. We have the stork coming through. Okay, so that's all about stirring things up. They're more than willing to stir the pot. It's a very fun kind of energy. They've got a lot of ideas going on in that little brain of theirs, Aquarius here. They're more than willing to stir the pot a little bit as well. I am getting that they're the sort of person that's going to come poke the bear and until they get a reaction. They're not afraid of the reaction. They want to see how much stirring they can get done. And once again though, they're going to take ownership of doing that as well. They're not afraid to take the ownership and personal responsibility that, yeah, I stirred the pot. I just wanted to see what would happen. They are a very fun, vicarious star sign anyway, Aquarius here, and they've got a lot of ideas. This is all about idea generation. The ideas that swirl around in their head. They've got a lot of ideas. So it is coming through as a green flag. They've got a lot of ideas, but I'm just also hearing here intuitively that the best way you can actually help Aquarius is to help them work out how to put those ideas into reality. That's kind of where they struggle a little bit, but that's sort of going down a different path there. But we do have the clouds as well. So Aquarius, big, deep thinkers. They think everything through, even if it seems like they haven't, like when they're stirring that pot and they're trying to get a reaction there, they've thought through all the potential outcomes. They know what's going on. They're taking ownership. They take personal responsibility for their actions. They know a lot more than they let on. They think things through very, very clearly. Okay, they're deep thinkers here. Sometimes that clouds energy too, up in space a little bit here. Their mind can drift because that clouds energy there. Their thoughts can sort of drift and it might seem as though, they're staring off into space, but really they're up in their head thinking very heavily about things. We also have the moon card. Okay, so the moon card is all about emotional sensitivity and intuition. So Aquarius probably has a very strong sense of intuition here. They know when to stir the pot and they know when to poke the bear, and they'll keep on poking or keep on poking, but then their intuition will say, okay, stop. And they'll stop. They know. Their intuition will tell them, okay, you need to stop now because this bear is about to, rip my face off, so I'll stop now. I'm getting just such a fun energy off Aquarius today, but they are very emotionally sensitive as well. That you may not see it as quickly with the Aquarius because they've got a lot, it's all up in their head. A lot of stuff going on in their head, but they are actually more emotionally sensitive than you may realize. They have a lot of emotions, these Aquarians, but it's kind of a weird energy because it means it's kind of like they really try to think through the emotional stuff. So usually those are in opposition, the thoughts versus the feelings, right? Usually they're in opposition, but Aquarius has this very unique way of, really, really trying to think through their feelings. Rather than just reacting and feeling, they actually try to put logic on their feelings and think through their feelings in a kind of rational way. So they kind of incorporate logic with feeling and emotion in a very interesting kind of way. It does seem, I do feel as though this is pretty unique to Aquarians. Okay, but it's a green flag in the sense that the rest of us can all learn something from that. You know, the rest of us just react. When our emotions flare up, we just sort of react emotionally, whereas Aquarius has a really interesting way of looking at feelings. And you know, so we can all learn a lot from Aquarius, you know, when it comes to the way that you're thinking about feelings. You know, so very interesting. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements, check your person's placements, whatever. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we'll move on to Pisces. Pisces. What are Pisces green flags? Pisces green flags. Getting a lot of green for you here, Pisces. Firstly, we've got evolution. Pisces realizes that obstacles are merely lessons on the path to love. So, you know, they're constantly evolving, constantly learning more about themselves. They're constantly, you know, able to turn obstacles into lessons for themselves in order to, you know, better themselves and create newer versions of themselves that are, you know, serving their higher purposes here. We also have cooperation. In their quest to manifest the energy of love, they realize that every person and experience has value. So they're very willing to cooperate and learn from others. You know, we see with that evolution there that they are, you know, looking at lessons. So even when, you know, they face somebody that they may not get along with, they try to learn the lesson from that experience, in order to, you know, find the value in that experience and learn the lesson from that. They're willing to cooperate with all different types of people and lessons in order to, you know, continue on their own path of self-advancement here. So I'm getting very strongly here that Pisces is very, one of their biggest green flags is that they are on the path to better themselves, to, you know, be higher and higher versions of themselves, to constantly evolve and grow, which, you know, not everyone can do that. And to me personally, I feel like that is a very big green flag, that somebody is willing to learn and grow. You know, I do the shadow work readings every single full moon. Keep an eye out for those, of course. And that's what that's all about. It's facing the darker sides of yourself in order to grow and evolve. You know, so it's very important to me that people do constantly undertake personal growth. And Pisces, it's coming through intuitively here. Pisces is very adept, and that's part of their personal evolution is constant self-growth and constant self-evaluation. Okay. Pisces green flags. What are Pisces green flags? We have the stork coming through first. This one always confuses me because that particular one looks more like a pelican to me, but it's the stork energy. It's all about idea generation. So Pisces has a lot of ideas rattling around in that little noggin of theirs. So we did see this with Aquarius as well. So if they are on the cusp, you may want to check that placement as well. But it's all about the, you know, the idea generation. They're, you know, they've got a lot of ideas and they need to sort of express those in different ways here. They're willing to cooperate in order to, you know, evolve these ideas that they've got and work out, you know, what's feasible, what's not. With the stork here, they're probably someone who is, you know, more than willing to stir the pot a little bit as well, stir things up just to get things moving and shaken. You know, if they're feeling stagnant energy, if they're feeling that they're stuck and they're not evolving, they're going to stir shit up and try to get something going one way or another, just so that they can have that movement. Movement is very important to this Pisces. We do also have the child energy here. So the child is all very playful and free type energy. They are very in touch with their inner child, and they're very, able to look at the world through a very innocent kind of lens. Even when things are going bad for them, they do have this ability to find that inner child that looks at the world with wonder and see that there is more to experience, that there's, new adventures around the corner, that this is not the be all and end all. No matter how bad things may seem, it's not the end all and be all. Things may look really crap right now, but you know what? Tomorrow I might wake up and I might, have a feast of chocolate delivered to the door. I might have, I might go down for a walk and find a tire swing in the middle of the jungle. And, it's all about adventure and playfulness and this fun type of energy that anything could happen. That, things may look very dire and dismal right now, but you know what? Anything can happen tomorrow. It could be a totally I might wake up and have shifted into a brand new dimension. It's that playful, fun kind of energy, very childlike type of energy. Pisces are probably, more than happy to go down to the park and playground and go on the swings with, with their kids. You'll see them up on the play equipment with their kids, that sort of thing. We also have the masculine. Okay, which is, Pisces is one of the water signs, so they are probably one of the more emotional signs, generally speaking, or sensitive to emotion kind of signs here. But with the masculine, we do see that this Pisces is very, reserved and controlling of their emotions. They hold back a lot. I'm kind of sort of seeing a dam here, where this masculine is the dam holding back all the emotions, and Pisces is there's a lot of emotions there, but they're more reserved and shy about releasing those emotions. It's kind of a measured drip coming out of the dam, where they're not going to open up emotionally unless they're 100% comfortable with you. They are very in control of their emotions. Okay, with that masculine, that's all I'm sort of getting off that masculine. That's coming through as a green flag, because that shows us that they're not going to allow emotions to hold them back. They're going to be very measured with the way that they're acting and the way that they show emotion. So I did say this with one of the other signs as well, Capricorn, I believe, that if you see this Pisces being emotional, you are one of a few people that has ever seen this Pisces being emotional. So if you know about the underlying emotions of this Pisces, think yourself kind of lucky. This Pisces has shown you a lot more than what they probably have shown a lot of people. Okay, when we see someone so reserved, it's usually a sign that when we have seen the softer emotional side of that person, that we should kind of feel blessed. It's coming through as a green flag. So that's what we have for Pisces. You're more than welcome to check any placements there, cross-watch placements. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. But we will move on to Aries. Okay, Aries. What are Aries green flags? What are Aries green flags? What are the awesome green flags Aries wants to show us? Trust. Aries has a strong connection to their soul's loving voice and have faith in their own intuition. So Aries, very in connection with their own soul, basically. They have a very spiritual connection with themselves, and they find it easy to find faith in things. They have this inner faith that is guiding them to where they need to go. I am intuitively feeling here, though, that Aries being such a passionate sign, I do feel as though they fight this quite heavily, but they do have a strong connection and they have this inner knowing. So they know when something is not steering them in the right direction, but then they do it anyway because they're Aries. I'm an Aries moon, so I know the feeling. We also have harmony. Aries is able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. So once again, they have this really deep spiritual connection to everything. But it's kind of, with the harmony card, it's kind of like, this is their green flag, is that everything is all about trying to find the easiest way to do it, so they don't have to fight all the time. Like I said, they feel as though they do fight against themselves quite a bit here, because their brain keeps telling them to take the easy way, to do the thing that's the most harmonious. But sometimes that's against their intuition. And that's where we get that fighting element coming in here. Because I'm picking up on red flags as well here, which that's not my intention for this reading. We are supposed to be looking at just green flags here. They're so connected sometimes that it's hard for them to, they don't want to fight. It's kind of this energy of they don't want to fight, but it's because I'm getting it in a really weird kind of way here, that ultimately they don't want to fight. Their soul doesn't want to fight. They want to just take the easy path, the harmonious path, the most peaceful way. But Aries by nature are just very, very passionate as well. Hang on, we'll have to have a look at the lenormand here, because that's a very opposing kind of energy to what it's all about, though, that they do have. I feel like, I think that what I'm picking up on here is that this is actually part of the Aries soul mission. Okay, is to learn how to fight for what they truly want, how to learn to fight for trust and harmony, how to fight and be passionate, and to evolve the Aries fighting kind of passionate nature into, working through the conflict, in order to find the harmony on the other side. But because they've got this harmony and trust energy, it's easy for Aries to try to take the easy road, that there's no fighting involved, because they don't want to fight. Deep down, they don't want to fight. But by not fighting, they're sometimes fighting their intuition and their own, the harmony that is on the other side of the conflict. So it's a very interesting energy there. But ultimately, that's what I suppose the green flag is that ultimately, they do have this really strong intuition, and they do want this harmony in everything that they do. They have this harmony with themselves, that they don't want to do anything to, destroy that harmony. And that's why it is such a fight for them to, because I am intuitively getting that for the Aries that I'm picking up on here, that's part of their life mission on this planet, is to learn when to fight, not to fight for no reason, to fight for the harmony, to fight for what their intuition is telling them is right. Okay, so if you're an Aries, I feel like that message is for you. Aries, what are Aries green flags? What are Aries green flags? We have the mountain coming through first and foremost. So this is all about obstacles and delays. That I'm kind of feeling, though, that with this mountain, it's all about the obstacles that Aries faces. That they're willing to find other ways around the obstacles. They're willing to try to find the most harmonious path through the mountains, rather than like, once again, it's coming back to that what I was just talking about with the fighting, fighting conflicts, because the mountain, the tall peak is the conflict, and Aries sometimes, rather than climbing it head on and going over the obstacle, facing that conflict, facing that delay head on. They're trying to find alternate routes around the mountain and the most harmonious path through the mountains. So once again, it's connected to that life purpose here of sometimes you have to take the hard road in order to get to the top of the mountain and see your way clear here. It is just coming through as some advice for some Aries. There must be an Aries that needs to sort of hear that sort of stuff at the moment, that sometimes it's okay to fight, and sometimes it's okay to fight for the harmony on the other side of that. Sometimes you need to get up the highest peak in order to actually have the smooth slope back down, instead of trying to find alternate ways around and continually being faced with more obstacles on the other side. Sometimes if you just climb that mountain in the first place, you can get to the other side much more easily, because once you're at the very top of that peak, you can see where all the other mountains are. From the top of that peak, you know where all the other obstacles lay between you and harmony, between you and trust. So it's kind of knowing when to pick your battles and knowing when to face things head on. But it's coming through obviously as a green flag. So there's a lot of determination and perseverance underlying all this, that Aries is, determined to, see themselves clear of any obstacle that gets put in their path. I am just picking up on some advice here for Aries as well to, sometimes you need to face the highest mountain in order to overcome all those small little mountains that you keep on facing here, Aries. So obviously somebody needed to hear that. Green flags for Aries. We have the feminine. Okay, so a lot of emotion comes through with the feminine. And the next card I have is the bear as well. So both the feminine and the bear both do talk about nurturing. So there's this nurturing and looking after your emotions here. The Aries is really able to sort of really nurture and grow their own emotional self and learn from their own emotions, protect their emotions in a very unique sort of way here. The feminine is, that softer side of ourselves where, I'm kind of getting that if it's a more masculine Aries, they may be fighting that a little bit, but they do have this very feminine energy to them where they are emotional. They do have this beautiful little emotional core within them that they, everything sort of filters through with that harmony. Once again, they feel that loving, balanced connection with spirit, with themselves, with that beautiful little feminine egg inside themselves here. I'm kind of just getting this imagery of this little woman curled up inside Aries, and the more that they feed those emotions and nurture those emotions, the more balanced Aries become. Okay, so they do have a very soft feminine energy inside them. A lot of the, I do feel once again that for some of these Aries, they are, very determined to not let it show that they're softer on the inside. But we do also have the bear, like I said. The bear is very nurturing energy. You can kind of see in this card here, it's the mama polar bear with her little babies. So they are a very mama bear type of energy where they protect and nurture those people around them. They put up boundaries when they need to. They're very strong and powerful when they need to be, but they also can be very nurturing and protective of the people that they care about. So that's actually a really lovely energy for Aries to have. I do quite often associate that bear energy with Aries anyway, but it is a lovely nurturing, protective energy. They're going to protect themselves if they need to. They're going to protect their loved ones when they need to. They're going to stand up and even though the ultimate goal is harmony, they're going to stand up and fight when they need to. All right, they protect. It's a protective thing. It's all about protection, and nurturing safe zones, nurturing that harmony within themselves. Okay, but you're more than welcome to check other placements, cross-watch placements. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we'll move on to Taurus. Taurus, what are Taurus's green flags? Taurus's green flags. Elevation. They are making the conscious decisions to raise their vibration of love. Okay, so they're constantly pursuing elevating themselves to a more positive zone. Okay, so when they have negative emotions or negative things going on in their life, they are able to, you know, make a very conscious decisions to elevate themselves above that drama. We also have spontaneity. They move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. So they're very able to embrace the moment. They're, you know, they enjoy embracing new things and change and enjoying the moment. They, you know, they don't allow themselves, you know, they don't really allow them the fears to hold them back. They're more than willing to, you know, jump into the unknown, jump into the deep end when they need to. Okay, but we'll have a look with the lenormand as well. Taurus, what are Taurus's green flags? Taurus's green flags. We have the birds coming through for Taurus. I'm hearing here that Taurus are probably very adept at, you know, they're probably one of the only people these days that are adept at phone conversations. Okay, this can sometimes talk about phone calls, and I am getting that here with Taurus, that Taurus is probably not one to shy away from a phone call if they need to make that. They're more than willing to, you know, do that phone call. I'm just sort of intuitively feeling here that we're probably seeing some Taurus who are, you know, there may be a few Taurus in the collective here that are, you know, things like in call centers and things like that. They know how to achieve a goal when it comes to talking things through with people. This is all about conversations as well. So they're able to communicate clearly what they sort of need and desire and whatnot here. They are able to communicate very clearly and hold those important conversations that they need to have. They're very adept at conversational skills. I'm just keep getting the conversational skills keep coming through here for Taurus. We do have the fish. This is a beautiful energy to see as a green flag. This Taurus is probably very adept at creating their own wealth, creating their own abundance, knowing, just intuitively knowing which areas of life are going to be the most abundant for them and pursuing those. This Taurus is probably someone who, you know, very financially capable, whether they allow themselves to believe that or not, no matter what their financial situation is, they probably are actually very financially capable. So, you know, even if they're, you know, on a very tight budget, they make it work. They find the moments of wealth within that, and they can create more abundance. It's kind of, I'm getting that that image, right, where it's out of the Bible, where is it like Jesus starts pulling fish out of a bucket and has enough fish to feed everybody. That's Taurus. Okay, they make it work. They, you know, even if you think they've only got this small little bucket, they somehow have got something in them that they can pull, you know, hundreds of fish out of this bucket and make it go round for everybody. Which, you know, being around this Taurus is going to give you more abundance in your life and help you create more wealth in your life as well. Taurus is kind of a good luck charm when it comes to money. You know, they may be very financially well off, a lot of these Taurus as well. So, you know, but I just keep getting that image of the bucket and the fish and fish and fish. You know, so they're able to, you know, make that bucket have as many fish as they need it to have. We also have the ring. Okay, so Taurus, you know, very, very adept at relationships, creating relationships, and I'm getting an interesting energy here because it's not so much about relationships, it's about the relationship Taurus has with the patterns and cycles in their life. They're very, very adept at understanding the relationship that they have with the patterns that they've created in their life. Okay, and I'm kind of getting that they're going to be like the cycle breakers kind of thing. That if they start to become aware of a certain pattern or cycle that they're in, they're going to break that. That's where that spontaneity comes in. They're going to come. They're going to burst through and do what needs to be done to break that cycle. If it's not a cycle that's serving their highest good, they'll break that cycle and they'll do what's necessary to start new cycles. So they're very adept at creating new patterns in more positive ways. Back to that elevation as well, that they're making conscious decisions to break cycles and try to raise the elevation of love. Okay, so I'm also getting here too that within a relationship, Taurus is somebody that you want on your side as well. They're very understanding of what they need to do in order to keep that relationship going. They're more than welcome to, they'll keep it flowing kind of energy. They'll do what's necessary to keep that positive cycle going. Or break the cycle if they know that is needed as well. So very interesting energy there for Taurus. I do feel as though that's they have strong relationships. When they have a strong relationship with somebody, it's something that they upkeep. They're good at the upkeep of that relationship. And otherwise that cycle gets broken and they'll start a brand new cycle. Okay, you're more than welcome to check other placements, of course, cross-watch placements. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. We'll move on to Gemini. Gemini, what are Gemini's green flags? What are Gemini's green flags? Present. You live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. So Gemini very muchly living in the moment, doing what is necessary, for their circumstances right here, right now. Very present in each and every moment. We also have virtue. They acknowledge their loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. So they do have, they're very aware of what makes them and being able to share that with the people that they surround themselves with. They do have a sense of virtue in their energy connection to the world and to others around them. Okay. It's the way that they encourage others to grow, that just being around this Gemini helps create more green flags in you by watching their green flags kind of energy. Okay, Gemini, what are Gemini's green flags? What are Gemini's green flags? We have the Tree. Probably very family orientated with the Tree coming through, but they also know how to look after themselves. This is all about self-care and self-growth. They know how to look after themselves, and when necessary, they know how to grow and nurture growth within themselves. It's also about wisdom as well. So they're probably seekers of wisdom in some kind of way here as well. But they're willing to branch out and try new things in the pursuit of growth, in the pursuit of looking after themselves on a deeper level. We also have the Ship coming through here. So they do have a very big sense of adventure. They're willing to undertake new journeys and close distances when necessary. They're going to get on that ship and go for it, kind of energy there. I am getting that, there may be a few Geminis here that their green flag is that they enjoy traveling and they enjoy, including their loved ones in traveling, that they're very in the moment as well. So there may be somebody who sort of just picks up and takes off at the drop of a hat and, includes their loved ones in that. And, they're not afraid of doing that, which, a lot of people are afraid of doing things like that. But Gemini seems to, be very, very adept at, that living in the moment kind of energy and undertaking any journey that they need to. All right. We also have the lily. So this Gemini does, this is a green flag. They look toward the future. They're very present in the moment, but they also have this long-term thing going on where it's like they live in the moment right now, but they still are very aware of where that is leading them in the future. And it's kind of this energy of they know where they're going to be 20 years from now. They know where they want to be in their life, and they're just going to live in the moment for now, knowing that they're taking steps to where they want to be in the future. They're a long-term energy. They're someone that's going to stick around. They have a long-term energy to them. They they're not someone that's just going to, at the drop of a hat, drop you as a friend or those sorts of things. It would take a bit more than that to lose this Gemini. But this is also about emotional vulnerability type stuff as well, sensitivities, intimacy. They're very intimate. They're very open and intimate with vulnerable with their emotions. They're someone who is in touch with their emotions and able to share that with the people that they're close to. When they're close to somebody, they have a very emotionally intimate relationships with the people that are very close to them. They are very vulnerable with the people that are close to them. So it's kind of, I'm getting this energy of if you are very close with a Gemini, you probably know all their deepest, darkest secrets, because they're very open and honest about those sorts of vulnerabilities. Okay, but you're more than welcome to check multiple placements, cross-watch placements. Also leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we'll move on to Cancer. Cancer, what are Cancer's green flags? Green flags for our Cancers. Straight away, intuitively, I'm hearing they're sweet. Maybe that's just my experience of Cancers, but Cancer, very sweet energy I'm getting. Okay. Green flags for Cancer. Unity. They understand that the love shared with others is amplified and has a ripple effect across the universe. So, they're willing to share their love. They're willing to be a part of something greater than themselves and share themselves with others. Okay. We also have peacefulness, which that's the sweet energy I was picking up on. They recognize that balance, kindness, and love bring calmness to their soul. So, they've got this peaceful energy about them, this sweet energy about them where they're kind and loving and very balanced. And, that unity is within themselves as well. Very balanced Cancer energy here today. Okay, Cancer. What are Cancer's green flags? What are Cancer's green flags? We have the masculine. So Cancer, even though they're very, they've got this inner peace, this unity within themselves and within, they're willing to share love and all these sorts of things. With the masculine, they are still very controlled. you know, they control that, and they're very consciously aware of that. You know, it's all about that balance. Once again, they're very logical and rational with the way that they approach life and the way that they approach this peacefulness and this unity, that, you know, they're going to be very logical and rational about the way that they find balance, the way that they give their kindness, the way that they share their love with others. It's all coming from a very rational, logical place within themselves. So they're not someone that's going to, you know, just give that love to everybody. They're going to give that love to the people that they intuitively feel are going to give it back. It's all about that balance for Cancer. They're, you know, they may to people, they, you know, I'm feeling intuition coming through strongly from Cancer as well, that intuitively they know who's not going to serve their highest purpose. And so, you know, those people may see Cancer as very reserved and standoffish and controlling, or those sorts of, you know, negative masculine aspects. But it's all about they're doing this it's a logical step that they're doing. They don't share that with everybody. Okay. We also see the crossroad. So they are the decision makers. They are the ones that are, you know, they're very in control of the decisions that they make as well. They know which, you know, once again, that intuition, they know which choice to make. They know which choice is going to lead to the most balance, lead to the most love, lead to the most unified results for them here. They're not afraid to make a decision. Okay, they're going to make these decisions clearly. Any choices that they make, you know, they think that through very, very carefully and rationally. All right. We also have the scythe. So also they're not afraid to, you know, cut ish out if it's not working for them. They'll cut it out. With the scythe there, they're willing to make sudden changes, no matter how unexpected that may be to the people around them. They've thought it through rationally. They've thought these choices through. They know what they're doing, you know, and it's all, once again, all about that peacefulness. If something is not serving their highest good, they will cut it out. And, you know, they'll make a break for it. And that even if that is unexpected and seems very sudden, Cancer has actually thought it through very well before they do these sudden things. But, you know, to other people, it may seem very sudden. But they're, you know, they know that sometimes in order to reap the harvest, you need to, you know, cull in order to, you know, get that, you know, because the scythe is all about, you know, we use that to cut the wheat, so then we can take the wheat to the bread mill. So they know sometimes that you need to cut the wheat in order to make flour. You can't have flour without actually going out to the field, cutting that wheat. And that's Cancer's very adept at, you know, cutting that wheat when they need to. Doing the harder things to, you know, cut things out in order to, you know, make the changes that they have chosen. All right. But you're more than welcome to check multiple placements, cross-watch placements, all that sort of stuff. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. And we'll move on to Leo. Leo, what are Leo's green flags? What are Leo's green flags? Transformation. They use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. Okay, so they're very adept at, you know, removing the fake-ish from their life and becoming very aware of what's real and true for themselves. They're willing to, you know, transform the versions of themselves that are not based in truth. They're willing to transform those versions of themselves into an awareness of that may have been who I was, but this is where I want to be. Okay, we also have friendliness. they're able to recognize traits in common with others in order to forge love-based connections. So this Leo probably does get along with quite a lot of people. Very common Leo trait, regardless, being such they're the showman of the zodiac. So they tend to get along pretty well with others. They do seem, with this friendliness card, they're very able to recognize that oh, I do this as well. Oh, me and you are like this, but both have these similarities, and get along with different people from different walks of life, and still find something to bind them together, and still have that friendliness. So I do feel as though Leo here very adept at platonic relationships. So it may play out a little bit differently in love relationships, but when it comes to platonic relationships, and once again with that transformation too, that they can see through they know the fakeness, because I'm kind of feeling too that, they're, because if they see someone who has, in a platonic relationship, and they notice that there is some sort of illusion or fakeness about that friendship, they're actually able to transform that part of themselves that is similar to that, and break that illusion, and move forward, and recognize that is a trait in common with themselves. It's that mirroring aspect. They're able to see the negative traits of others within themselves as well as the positive. Okay, and then they go ahead and transform that within themselves. Okay, Leo, what are Leo's green flags? The letter. Communication. They're probably somebody that is very interested in all forms of communication, communicating clearly. The letter does refer to, documents and text messages, emails, talking online, talking in person, phone calls, all sorts of communication here. Leo is very adept at, getting their point across through text and communication, rather than holding things out and not saying things. Leo is probably very, very communicative. All right. We also have the Leo card, the Sun. That is Leo's own card here. So they embrace who they are. They embrace who they really are. They have this internal nugget of happiness within themselves, that no matter what is going on, they can find the happiness. They bring that to light in people around them as well. The sun really shines through the darkness. So just being around Leo helps you be happier. It's kind of very interesting energy. It brings to light, the things that within you yourself that you may need help facing, and they bring it forwards in a very positive, happy kind of way. There's a lot of warmth coming from Leo as well. They very warm. I'm getting like a very warm, bubbly, friendly kind of person here. We also have the Mountain. So Leo is able to overcome obstacles. Once again, with that light from within themselves, it does enable them to, overcome any obstacles that they're faced with. It's kind of like, that mountain's getting in the way of my sunshine, so I'm going to climb that mountain so I can sit at the top and, get that warmth from the sun. They're willing to, put in the hard work and perseverance, and they're determined to, allow themselves to be top of the mountain, be the achieving Leo, be at the top of the pyramid, not at the bottom. Okay, so they're wanting to bring themselves up to the light as well. This beautiful inner light within them really does help them shine through and help them sort of get to the top of any obstacle or delay that they're faced with. Okay, it's beautiful energy there, but you're more than welcome to cross-watch other placements as well. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. And last but not least, our Virgos. Okay, Virgo, what are Virgo's green flags? What are Virgo's green flags? Harmony. They are able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. So ultimately the goal is harmony and trying to be harmonious with everything in their life. This Virgo, they're able to, balance everything out and try to, keep everything relatively harmonious in their life, no matter what's going on. We also have joy. I kind of feel too with that harmony card, they're kind of the peacemakers of the friendship group. They want everyone to just get along kind of energy. And the joy card as well. They delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that they do. So once again, they are the light of the friendship group. They're the peacemaker of the friendship group. They're the one that, everyone wants to be around, because every time they're around Virgo, it's a party. It's fun. Even if it's not a party, it's still, fun energy to be around this Virgo. They bring a smile to your face, no matter what's going on. All right, Virgo, what are Virgo's green flags? I just feel too, they're very easy to get along with. It's easy to just be in their company. It's a joyful sort of energy, a harmonious energy. It's easy to be around this Virgo. All right, what are Virgo's green flags? The ship energy. Yeah, life is an adventure to this Virgo. It's that joy once again, that they bring this adventure, this sense of adventure to everything that they do. They're willing to embark on whatever journey they need to undertake. To be find the harmony, to find the joy in all the situations of their life, of their group, the groups that they're in. They're probably the one that's going to, inspire people to get moving as well. And I'm getting that there's probably quite a few of these Virgos that really love traveling and whatnot as well. They're more than willing to, get on that boat and set sail no matter where it goes. Okay. We have the clouds. So the clouds is all about the way that Virgo thinks about things. They're a very deep thinker. They do think things through very, very clearly, and they're very aware of when their thoughts are leading them away from that harmony. And that they need to, get back on that ship and sail back to the sunny skies so that their ship doesn't sink. They're very adept at thinking. Okay, so they're the thinker. They think things through, and they think about things a lot deeper than you realize that they do. They're they're in their head a lot. They think a lot, and it may not even be deep thinking, but they think a lot. Like some of these Virgos may be very interested in, learning and things like that as well. Things that keep them thinking and centered. Um, to be still with no thought is uncomfortable to this Virgo. I feel like they're always thinking about something, thinking about the next adventure they're going to go on. We also see the anchor. So Virgo is reliable and dependable. You can rely on Virgo. They will hold you steady through the storm. We've got they're this ship energy, so they're very joyful and ready to go on these adventures, but they know when to pop that anchor down and hold you steady through the storm. If they see a storm coming through, they know when to pop that anchor down and ride it out. Okay, they're dependable. You can rely on Virgo. They're very dependable, secure energy. All right, so you can definitely rely on this Virgo to sort of hold you steady no matter what storm you're faced with. Okay, But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check other placements. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. And I hope everyone enjoyed this reading today. Obviously, like I said at the intro, celebrating St. Patrick's Day, tomorrow. So I hope everyone really enjoyed looking into the green flags. Next weekend we may look into the red flags, but I was just really feeling it today with the green, healing, happy, lucky energy. So, I hope that helps you, maybe learn a little bit more about some of the people that you're dealing with, learn a little bit more about yourself. Leave me a comment and let me know what you thought. Hopefully I'll see you all soon.